I'm here with Peter Keene, Go Racing TV's technical analyst, and also a racer this weekend. You're driving a car. What class are you driving?
I'm in SEC and Integra, and I had a tough week, to be honest with you. I kind of caught myself out. I'm like 1.8 seconds slower than my predictive, and that's not right.
Yeah. That can be tough, especially you want to be good for the big show. So, now you've been here for the past couple of days of qualifying. I'm gonna pull it to your lead in reference to what's the stories, what's going on out here.
I think the biggest factor, honestly, has been the weather. I mean, right now it's crazy windy, and the rains come through here, and it gives you no warning. It could be absolutely sunny at 1 minute, and then the rain moves in, and when this place gets wet, it doesn't drive out, through the kink and then down into Canada Corner. It's treacherous, it just doesn't drain. So that's been the biggest factor, I think, is just the weather, the headwinds at one time in turn one. I thought there was actually something wrong with my car the first time. I think it was the last session on Sunday and the test day. I went down there and turned the car, and the big gust, and I thought there was something wrong with my car. It was such a big headwind in one, so it's been crazy.
Yeah, the weather definitely can be unpredictable up here in Wisconsin. Even this morning, it was drizzling for a little bit. So the guys who I guess went out in those first two sessions had a wet track, and then a few minutes later it was dry, and I think that's been going on throughout the whole week.
It has, and I really wanted to throw one down to this morning. We were out at 8 o'clock this morning, and it was fine on the front section. And by the time we got out of the carousel, then we had the wipers on because there's so much spray. And, we must have got the moisture overnight, and, there was no way we were going to dry the track then. So, it was a complete loss for, I think, the first three groups.
Now, how about those Mustangs that seem to kind of pop out of nowhere in the SSB class, I believe?
Well, they're very competitively classed, and finally, they were here last year with the same package, and the car just wasn't developed. They've had a year to work on them. A nice, inexpensive package, and they're giving the BMW and Honda's fits, man. They are right there. It's, Ed Zabinski and Lance Stewart, two good shoes, and the Honda boys and the guys in the BMW, they have big issues. And then poor Mike Scornavacci had a problem on the first day and had to go home. So, it might be a Mustang win in SSB, which would be a shocker.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the Honda guys, and they definitely were they were scratching their heads saying, okay, what's different, what's going on here? So, yeah, I think it kind of caught a lot of people off guard.
And one other thing is their teammates. They're going to work together. They're going around the paddock telling everybody it's a team sport. And so, I hope you bring a partner because they're going to play. It's 2-on-1, I think. So, I think they're going to try and divide and conquer.
It's almost like Formula One now, yeah. Team sports going on. And I guess the other big story would be Steve Gorriarian in the Spec Miata.
Oh man, he put it on him on Monday. Good Lord, I think he's got a second on second place, and he had the whole paddock. They didn't know what to do. That's Spec Miata's got so much man drama going on, on the internet and all over the place. And I hate, and then Gregarian's second up on the field, and that spun it into craziness. A funny thing, I'm in Cheatin' Chip's trailer, and we were working on my car, and there was a Miata on the drum, running on the dyno. I go, look, it's Drago over on the dyno. About 6 guys come running out of the trailer, running around. Well, what are they going to see from across the street on a car running on the dyno? It's just a Miata on the dyno. It wasn't even Drago, but it was just hilarious how jumpy everybody's gotten trying to find that second or trying to find the speed. So
yeah, the Miata community definitely has a lot of drama around it. And then, from what I understand, Gorriarian threw another monkey wrench in the situation, and then somehow got SSC to throw everybody's cars on the dyno.
Yeah, I guess there was. We raced we had a session just before that tent meeting, and I guess they all cried. And then now, SCCA's been dragging them over to the dyno, running them on the dyno, and checking ignition timing, and so then that's another male drama thing going on because then now they're sharing their sheets from the drum. Who was the best on the drum, and guys' feelings are hurt, and it's hilarious, to be honest with you. I'm sure if I was a competitor in that class, it wouldn't be so funny, but me sitting on the sidelines, it's hilarious what's going on in Spec Miata.
It's unbelievable. I guess the other story, there's tons of stories that are going on this weekend, but then Heinersee in the Corvette, obviously now a contender against the Ferrari.
Well, it's funny, that C6 LS3 in the beginning had teething problems, and they had engine issues until they got the dry sump. Now that they have the dry sumps, they got the reliability back. And finally, John Heinrichs, with the reliability and some testing, he's got a package. Everybody thought they weren't competitive, and now it's just a couple of tenths off the Ferrari. The dreaded Ferrari, feared the Ferrari. And by the way, you got to get pictures of that tent. Did you see the tent down there the Ferrari's in?
I saw the setup they had last year. It was straight out of an F1 type setup. It was unbelievable. So I haven't gotten a chance to go over there, but I definitely obviously have to take a look.
Well, they're in a tent now. It's and the three sides are isinglass, so it's clear plastic, and the tent's bigger than the tech shed. So, and they got their trailer and their Ferrari and like 3 or 4 chairs underneath there and like 6 golf carts. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. They just how much real estate they can take. It's hilarious down there. So,
I heard last year that he actually flew in a Ferrari Formula One driver and tested the car here before the runoff. So, I mean, he's obviously very serious about the sport.
well, he's definitely, nobody can take it away from that. He's not dedicated. I mean, if you watch him run in Grand Am or AMLS, I mean, he brings it. It's always 2 cars. It's always top-notch effort. It's always, excellent equipment. I mean, he's not afraid to spend the money to do it right. So, it's to the nines. Everything is done correctly. So you got to give him that. Some of the guys don't like that around here, but it's one heck of a program.
Now, I think the other thing is, I was walking around the paddock and ran into some young kids. So I say young kids, young guns, I'll say, 17-year-old guys that, every year we find a couple of kids that come from karting into SCCA, which is great for the sport, and right away out the box they're fast. And I ran into 2 young gentlemen, one running a Spec Racer Ford and another one running a Formula E, and was able to get some interviews with them. So after this message, we're going to go and see what they had to say.
Excellent. And that's great. I mean, we need young kids in this thing, I mean, they always say the graying of SCCA. It's great to have kids. I mean, SCCA needs to do a better job of getting young kids into this. And, I mean, it's refreshing to see, young talent and then instantly be fast. I mean, that's perfect.
So right after this message, we're going to come back to you with more interviews.